yesterday at Shopper. Yes, I did. I said also, I paid my cell phone bill. I told her how much. And I said, my life insurance comes out of there.
Hey everybody, sorry for the glare. Just as I said yesterday, we were going to have a quick discussion about monkeypox, and I want to be able to get the. Oops, sorry, y'all. I want to be able to.
Yeah, I've seen it on TV, monkeypox.
You saw it on TV, Miss Essie.
But anyway, what the lady did was put a hold on my card.
So I want to get the perspective from the senior community as far as what they think monkeypox is. What have we heard? If we heard something, was it anything related to who we think gets monkeypox? And then I want to try to, well, not try to, because I'm going to do it, but I want to be able to correlate monkeypox and what, of course, what we went through or what people experienced with the virus, HIV. So these are my guests. So you can say your name. You want me to say who you are? It's okay. You gonna say? All right. The first lady in the purple is. Oh, that's Miss Mary. Right next to Miss Mary is Miss Essie, and right next to Miss Essie, raise your hand, James. That's Mr. James. And of course, you all know me, Camelia. So I'm going to try to not be on camera as much today. This is going to be a quick recording. So the purpose of this, I guess I'll come in there, you guys. The purpose of this recording, every week, Walking in Purpose has health classes or health demonstrations. So today's health topic is just going to be a discussion instead of a health class. But we all know that when you're talking, if you're talking to the right people and they got some information that you don't have, then it does become, a form of learning. So we're just going to have a open discussion on what we know about monkeypox, what we think monkeypox is, and then I'm just going to get some facts. So give me a moment and we'll be right back. I think we need to sit there. It's a glare. Yeah, I can't see y'all from there. Wait. Let's play musical chairs, Miss Essie. I got you, chair, Mama. We're going to move on this side. You all right? You feeling okay? You feeling all right? Yeah, I'm good. We're going to move on this side. I got it. Yeah. Right up here, right where you at, is facing this way. I think this way might be better. It doesn't seem to be a glare. Then I'm gonna turn it this way and then. I'm the Sandra. I gotta figure out how to work my. Where is the microphone?
You can give me them tennis shoes.
You want my shoes too, Miss Essie? No, ma'am. I have a big foot. It's bigger than the 8.
That don't look big.
Oh, I'm gonna get you to try it on. How about that? You can see.
That's better.
Miss Essie wants my
Don't you fall on them clothespins.
I promise I won't. Yes, ma'am. So we were talking about monkeypox. So I'm going to ask Mr. James. Have you ever heard the word monkeypox? If I say monkeypox, what comes to mind? What do you think of?
A disease.
Okay.
And I heard of it.
And you heard of it?
Yes.
Did you hear of it recently or, how long ago did you hear about monkeypox for the first time?
I think I heard about it a couple of years back.
Okay.
Right.
Miss Mary?
I've heard about it recently. I think back in 1958, when there were 2 outbreaks of pox, like a disease occurred in monkeys, and somehow or another got transferred to men, not just homosexuals, but to basically every living being.
That is correct. We're going to go into a little detail about that in a second so that we can, just clear up anything that we lost. Miss Essie, have you heard anything about monkeypox?
Well, the only thing I heard about it was this year, and I saw it on TV. And at first they were thinking that only gays got it, but they say anybody can get it.
Mm-hmm.
And they even showed pictures, of people that had monkeypox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to just talk about what it actually is. So I made a presentation, not able to share it with the screen, but because I love to present, my voice is loud enough. So monkeypox is a virus that is in the same family of the viruses known as smallpox. So according to the CDC, which is the Centers for Disease and Control and Prevention, monkeypox was originally discovered in 1958 when 2 outbreaks of a pox-like disease occurred in colonies of monkeys kept for research.
Mm-hmm.
So although the origin, even though that's when they discovered it, the thing is you don't know if, just because I discovered it then doesn't mean that that's when it started, right? Same thing about with COVID. My thing is, I've had the conversations with people about, COVID-19 and people started getting sick around February of 2020. I had surgery in December of 19. When I came home from the hospital, it was very hard for me to walk and talk. At night, I could not lay flat on my back because it felt like a ton of bricks was on my chest. Mm-hmm. So I had to sit, lay sitting up. Mm-hmm. And then from the car to my front door wasn't that long of a distance. Mm-hmm. But by the time I got to my front door, I was out of breath. Mm-hmm. And I could hear the wheezing. I could hear that something was going on in the lung. Mm-hmm. So when I went to the doctor, they gave me new asthma inhalers, so I have asthma. Mm-hmm. And of course, those inhalers have steroids in it. Mm-hmm. So for me, I think that's what saved me. Even though I didn't go to the hospital, mm-hmm. I didn't, because no one was talking about it at that point. Right. But because I knew that I have respiratory issues, and I'm like, I should not be talking on the phone, and after the second word, because I was literally, after every word, I was, hey, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? I've never been like that before. So I'm certain, I really am certain that I probably picked it up, and I would assume in the hospital, in the OR, right before, I believe it. I don't think I had it before I went in the hospital. I know I had it when I came out. So again, we don't know how long COVID has been out, but I will say this. I hate to say it that way. We do know how long COVID's been out. So the SARS-CoV is the actual virus, right? So the COVID-19, how it gets its name, or the corona, because the coronavirus is what it is, right? If you bought Lysol or Clorox spray back in the day, on the back of that can, it says kills coronavirus. So this isn't anything new. Right. And I'm not saying that the Lysol or disinfectant sprays of today or 3 years ago. I'm saying when I lived in Indianapolis in 2012, the word coronavirus was on the back of the Lysol cans. Right. So it's not anything new. So just FYI.
It's a lot of people get it, right?
I mean,
now read what's on the back. And see,
that's it. Yeah. That's it. Because I never did. I actually, and my mother is a nurse, so we have those. We have a lot of the medical grade, right? Antibacterial things. So I actually did not read the back of the can until 2000, and I'm like, wow, it's been So just imagine. So sometimes things fly under the radar, not because it's trying to hide. It's just because we don't take the time to notice or look into anything, or our mind would be so focused on something else. Right. So that's just my personal opinion. But don't let me talk, y'all. Me.
This study, they said, as of Saturday, 92 confirmed cases of the illness and 28 more suspected cases.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure it's more than that.
Yeah, but then you know what? You think of those people who, let me see, I want to get in the frame, but it's not going to work. Think about those people who get sick or have different ailments and they are ashamed or embarrassed or afraid to go to the hospital, so they stay home, and then if your symptoms go away, you start to feel better, then you go back to living your life the way you've been doing it, right? Not even addressing the fact that you had a illness or a virus or whatever, so you don't even know if you still have it, right? So for me, my belief earlier on with COVID-19 was that way, that we really didn't know how you got it, right? And they were saying, oh, if you get mail, wipe your mail off before you bring it in the house, don't bring any boxes. We had all these rules and stipulations. So imagine a person had to wear gloves when you did everything. So then you imagine a person who is actually sick or has the virus and doesn't know, and then continues to live life like they've always done. But then what do? They infect even more people. So I wish I could show the picture online, but that's okay. We'll add pictures later. The blisters that pop up on a person's body, it kind of looks like, I don't even know how to describe it. Okay, if you get a 3rd-degree burn, right, and let's say that skin bubbles up, you have that pus in it. So imagine having that type of ailment all over your face, your hands, your groin, your stomach. So that's how that disease, that's how it presents itself. So I have my laptop to show you a picture of it.
Yeah, I saw it
You saw that
on TV, but it was all over this guy's back.
Really?
Yeah. They showed it on the news.
Yeah.
I saw
that. Oh my God, I saw that.
Yeah. Oh, their hands look like their hands gonna come off.
What?
Yeah.
But I believe it originated overseas. I do, because
I'm getting in here.
when they first discovered AIDS,
Yeah.
the very first AIDS patient they had was at University Hospital where I worked at. And it was a white guy and he was European.
Yeah.
I believe that monkeypox came from, overseas, because people in them foreign countries, they do not have access to all this medication that we have, and these doctors and these programs, they don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we call that modern medicine. So they don't have access or adequate access to modern medicine. So I know that a lot of organizations are trying to change that. Have you all saw those commercials about those boats? The doctors, the nurses, they volunteer their time. They get on the boat and they'll go to these different.
Oh, the mercy ship.
The mercy ship. Yeah. My mom wants to do that. She's a retired nurse, but she wants to do that. So I think that if we increase doing stuff like that, and we say, well, look, in America, we got it made a lot better than folks in, XYZ country, right? So if we have enough health professionals to say, I'm gonna get on that mercy ship and I'll, volunteer 3 to 6 months of my time to go and try to help, the people in an underserved community or country, right? So for me, one of my, mottos that I like is that the charity first has to start at home, right? So personally, before I can hop on a boat and go overseas, I need to make sure that the people around me are educated, that they have the medication they need, that you have the information that you need, and that you're taken care of. So I think that currently that's what our focus should be. I want to give just a quick plug to our sponsors. So the Outreach Global Group and Bodeo, who is making this possible for us to be able to podcast, on Facebook, Instagram, of course, the platform that we're using on our YouTube channel. So with their support, we are able to do these health classes or discussions weekly, either in person or online. We also go out in the community, of course, to distribute information, pass out goods. And then one thing that we're really pressing, not forcing you to, but people who want to be vaccinated, making sure that you have the transportation to get there, the transportation to get back home, in the middle or the beginning or the end, that you know what it is that you're getting ready to take, that you know the truth and the facts about the virus, and that you make the decision. So my purpose is to share the information, but for you all to make the informed decision about your life and what you want to do as far as your health. Okay, so signs and symptoms. So if I said I had monkeypox, what would you think would be one of the symptoms I would have?
Sorry.
Oh, that's what I said. So if I said I had monkeypox, what type of symptoms do you think I would have with having that virus or that disease?
An itch.
An itch.
An itch or a scratch.
An itch or a scratch.
Open sore.
Open sore.
Yeah.
Okay. So signs and symptoms: a rash that can look like pimples or blisters that appear on the face, inside the mouth, and on other parts of the body, such as the hands, the feet, the chest, the genitals, and the anus.
The anus.
Yes,
That's why they say some people believe that it comes from gays.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why they say that.
Fever.
Like herpes.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about that's gonna be another week's discussion. Herpes. Not okay. Other signs and symptoms: fever, headache, muscle aches, backache, swollen lymph nodes, chills, exhaustion, respiratory symptoms, for example, a sore throat, nasal congestion, or a cough. Transmission and incubation. So I'll read this one. Oh, this is the most unprofessional podcast I've seen thus far. Jesus. It's a great thing that we're actual real people and this is happening in real time, because we are no professionals, are we? And that's quite all right. We don't have to be. But yeah, when you are highly sought after, people will call you all day, all morning, all night, because they don't really, they don't really take into consideration, what's going on. So transmission and incubation. The incubation period for monkeypox, so they call it Mpox now. You just shorten it, Mpox. Is within 3 weeks of exposure to the virus. So let's say we're all somewhere, and we're exposed to it within that 21-day period. We should start having some symptoms of what? Fever, chills, the headaches, the cough, the wheezing. We may even get some of those blisters. But what's the place we don't want them at, Miss Essie? What, we might get some blisters if we get monkeypox, but what's the one place we don't want them at?
In the butt.
There you go. The anus. You said the butt.
In the butt.
Oh, goodness. If someone has flu-like symptoms, they will usually develop a rash 1 to 4 days later. So if the flu-like symptoms are what you're experiencing, 1 to 4 days in between your cough and your chill and your fever, you're going to start seeing them blisters.
It'll just pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, once you're exposed. So once you are actually exposed to the virus, then it's like, think of it this way. When you fry an egg, not scramble, let's say fry. So when you first crack it and you put it in the skillet, of course it's liquid form, right? You got your yolk in the middle, the egg whites around. As that thing cooks, of course the formation of it changes, and it goes from a liquid to a solid, right? So it goes through a process. So same thing with the monkeypox. You get exposed, right? It's on you. It's gonna go through the process before it reveals itself, right? So then it reveals itself by giving me the symptoms of the fever, the rash, the chills, the cough, the whatever else, right? And these blisters that have now popped up all over my body, maybe even my anus and my genitals and my chest and my, whatever else. So it's a process.
See me looking.
You look at me.
I got the cough.
Yeah, and we're laughing not because it's funny, but because it's life. But we want to make sure that we're informed. And again, so that's just where we're at with it.
And I feel like this: if you feel that sickness coming on, get it checked out.
Exactly, immediately. Say that again, James.
Check it out immediately.
How do you know? I had a question in my mind. How do you know if you've been exposed to it? If I walk by her, she has it, right? Maybe just walk by her. Can I contract it that way?
So we're going to talk about, we're doing transmission incubation now. So I'll tell you how it transmits. How does it spread? Direct contact with the infectious rash. So let's say I have the rash on me, a scab, or some body fluids, whether it be urine, blood, and you're dipping and dabbing in it. Some kind of way rub past me or whatever.
On the patient probably look like eczema.
Yeah, until it gets really big and blister up, I bet. It probably does. Because I think it blisters first, and then just like if we get burned and we get a blister, it pops eventually. So again, just that process. Respiratory secretions during prolonged face-to-face contact and during intimate physical contact, such as kissing, cuddling, or sex. So face-to-face, you and all your saliva, we and all my saliva, one of us has the virus because it's spread through bodily fluids. Touching items such as clothing or linens that have previously touched the infected rash or body fluids. So let's say we're at Walmart. I see this cute dress I want to try on, and I'm gonna go try that bad boy on. But Cindy Sue, who tried it on before me, had a rash and an open blister somewhere on her. Had no business at all.
Right.
We need to go hunt Cindy Sue down because she was 200% wrong, right? Pregnant people can spread the virus to their fetus through the placenta. So in 2 weeks, we're going to talk about the HIV and AIDS, and I'm going to say something about that before we close out this conversation. Just to go back and say that, just like what Ms. Essie said about when it came out and they were saying, oh, well, that's a homosexual disease, and then because one of the symptoms, or the cause of the virus was giving you those blisters, and then we name a location like your butt, right? So, I've heard it, we've all heard it. So, how did it get to human beings? How did we get monkeypox? How did this become something that we now have to worry about? If it was something discovered amongst 2 sets of monkeys in a laboratory, okay? So, if an animal scratches you, bites you, if you prepare any meat products that are from the dead, infected animal, right? So do you all remember years ago that mad cow disease?
Yes.
And all those cows were just, oh my goodness. But they were still packaging that meat and sending it out, and of course people got sick. You see stuff and you notice stuff. So I'm going to tell y'all this. I don't know how you shop. We all got our different ways of shopping. But I am going to say, how you get those tubes of ground beef, ground turkey and all that? My suggestion, and this is Camille's suggestion, nobody else, this is what Camellia said. My suggestion, never get any food that you can't see when it comes to meat.
Right.
That package needs to have a clear little cellophane on it so I can see.
Right.
I want to see what's going on. I'm going to tell you a story quickly and we'll get back to monkeypox.
It can be dead meat in it.
Yeah.
So also punch a hole in the pack like I do and smell it before you purchase it.
Okay.
Punch a little hole.
Yeah.
Not to be seen, and I smell my meat.
But let me tell you what happened to me with the ground beef. I used to buy the ground beef in the little round tube, the little smallest one. So when I opened it, I split it down the middle, pulled the paper back, and then, or the plastic back, and then it exposes the meat. So I did that, and I don't know what. It was ground beef, but then it was like chunks of white stuff, and it was just too much going on in that too, right? So that turned me off. I'm like, yeah, if I can't see it first, I want no parts of it. I'm even that way.
Dried up meat in it. You don't like dried up meat.
I wanted no part of it. So yeah, you just gotta be a little bit more cautious than just look.
Especially with your pork chop, I've punched a hole and smelled them. They smell like they look good. They were bad.
Really?
Yeah. Now pork chops starting to go bad. You can smell. That's what I did. Yeah.
So I don't know if you all heard it or not, but Miss Mary gave us a good tip. She was saying when you go to buy meat at the store, and this is what she does, and you can copy if you like, but she said that she pokes a very tiny hole into the packs of her meat to smell, to see if they're actually fresh or sour. And she's saying that one time she did poke a hole in some pork chops that looked very nice. They were good in pink or whatever color pork chops are, and they were as rotten as an egg on Easter Sunday. So
man, don't punch no big holes.
no.
You going to jail.
Just a fingertip. Just a fingertip.
Yeah.
And one day I didn't do it and went home. Oh my God, the things were stinking. I ran back to Walmart.
Really?
Yes, I swear to God.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Prevention. Take the following steps to prevent getting monkeypox. Avoid close skin-to-skin contact with people who have a rash that looks like monkeypox. So we just showed you what the rash looks like. Those blisters, those spots.
It's supposed they have the rash and it's covered up. You'll know.
That's true. I agree.
They should be considerate of other people and don't, come in contact.
So the hope is that even if you get this virus, just like Miss Mary said, be considerate of other people because you know that there's something in and on your body that can infect and affect a lot of people. So the common courtesy thing would be for you to, I would say, like just self-isolate yourself until that issue is taken care of. Yeah, I don't want to keep jumping back to COVID, but I know I'll be quick about this story. So one of my little ladies whom I love dearly, and I won't say names since we're recording this, when the outbreak first started and we told all our seniors, look, we want everybody to just kind of pull away from the crowd, stay to yourself, so forth and so on. So this lady was like a avid church goer, was out of the house every day doing stuff. And of course, when COVID came, she came to me and said, what should I do? And I said, I'm going to suggest that you just kind of stay in your house. Just, don't really go out and do anything. So I was like, okay, I know she's safe because she's not going out amongst the people. She was my first resident that died of COVID. But how did she get it? One of her neighbors who went out every day to, some of the food kitchens and different things, actually got it and transmitted it to her, and she died. And I think about the fact that she tried her best to do what I said. She didn't go out. She didn't, she just didn't mix them in. And it's still fresh in my mind because, I really, really love that lady. That was just a shock to me. Okay, it says, do not touch the rash or scabs of a person with monkeypox. I'm going to tell the three of you and the 300 of you out there in TV land, don't ever get your hand and start rubbing on somebody's rash. Or if they have monkeypox and they're filled with blisters, don't you be like, oh, let me pop one of those. Like, we have to use a little common sense here. I know sometimes people are like, I don't use common sense today. But I'm telling you to save your life and to keep you from experiencing certain things. Common sense is what you should be displaying. Do not share eating utensils or cup with a person with monkeypox.
Right.
I wouldn't do that if they don't got it.
Right.
I'm telling you. Mm-mm.
Do not handle or touch the bedding, towels, or clothes of a person with monkeypox. So remember we said that, it's transmitted through bodily fluids and secretions.
Right.
So I would say, yes, I wouldn't do any of this. Wash your hands often with soap and water or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. So let me tell you what I personally believe about sanitizer. I think it's great on the go. I think we should always keep it. My mother is a retired nurse. I grew up knowing how to wash my hands the right way. I knew what PPE was when I was 7, but there is nothing better, in my opinion. This is the Cammyism, not a worldism, a CDCism. This is the Camelliaism. Soap and water. Good old soap and water. I would prefer to wash my hands with soap and water than to depend on sanitizer completely.
Right.
So yeah, keep it with you. Keep it in your pocket. Keep it in your pocketbook. But don't get in the habit of not washing your hands with soap and water because sanitizer is also more convenient. Like I'm
And I think if someone wants to get revenge on someone and they deliberately let them come in contact with that person, that they will reap what they sow. And God don't like ugly. He see everything.
Yes.
So don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I agree with that. Okay, so what type of treatment? Is there a treatment for this? So according to the research, it says antiviral drugs approved for treatment of smallpox may help treat monkeypox because the viruses that cause monkeypox and smallpox are similar. So remember I said that monkeypox is the cousin of smallpox, right?
Right.
So if I'm not mistaken, and I'm only 40, I've experienced a lot, but maybe not enough. Smallpox was like completely wiped out, right? We took care of that. We eradicated that. We don't have to worry about that, right? But we know what it is. People have experienced it. We saw it with our own eyes. We know that it exists. So then it just made room for its cousin monkeypox to keep it light, I guess. So the medicine that they give out to people with like a severe monkeypox infection. So we're going to try this word together. Matter of fact, I'm not going to try it. I'm going to tell you what the abbreviation is. So T is in Tom, P is in Paul, O is in Oscar, X is in, give me a word to start with X.
When?
Just give me a word to start with X.
Xylophone? No.
I think xylophone's like X, Y, Z. Xylophone, you think?
Extra?
Let's start with E, yeah. What word starts with an X?
X-ray?
X-ray.
There we go. Yeah. See how smart they are? I'm the idiot in the room. So, medicine. TPOXX. Tom, Peter, Oscar, X-ray, X-ray. Right? So it's called.
Is that a word?
No, ma'am. So no, I said the word is Tecovirimat.
It's
Tecovirimat.
environment.
Then hey, we figured that thing out. Tecovirimat, right? But the abbreviation is TPOXX. Tom, Paul, Oscar, X-ray, X-ray. So it may help to treat severe mpox disease involving the eyes, the mouth, the throat, genital, and anus. However, it is currently unknown whether tecovirimat works or how well it works to treat monkeypox. So it's a medication that they used to give out, I guess, to smallpox or people who had smallpox. And you can get it if you suffer from the severe symptoms of the cough, the blisters on your genitals, the blisters on your anus, issues with your eyes and your mouth.
Well, maybe monkeypox is in the family of smallpox.
Yeah, they're cousins.
Right.
They in the family. Yes, ma'am. Miss Essie said, well, that monkeypox was in the family of smallpox, and she is absolutely correct.
And any kind of pox.
Any kind of
They
pox.
want to say it come from Africa because the Africans eat all the wild animals. That's what they want to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every bad disease or virus, it comes from Africa.
Yeah.
And it normally only lasts 2 to 4 weeks, and eventually it will wear off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miss Mary is our expert on.
But I don't believe that.
Yeah. I don't either. So Miss Essie has brought up a good point. She's saying that whenever they discover a illness, a virus, disease, they always say that, oh, it must have come from Africa. And honestly, I kind of feel like that's a dig at Black people, you know, no matter what country you live in, but it's like that whole pass the buck thing. You find somebody to blame, right?
Yeah,
So-
they always blame us.
Mm-hmm.
They always blame us. Even here in America,
Of course.
they always blame us.
So these conversations are good for us because we're able to speak freely about how we feel about certain things, the things that we've observed, and you know, and it's just an open dialogue for you to say whatever, whenever, and however. You know, as long as you don't get up and hit anybody, we're good to go. But I agree with Ms. Essie on the fact that researchers, in my opinion, again, Cammyism, not a worldism, are so quick to say, like you said, oh, we found it in Africa, you know, or a lot of these diseases that they say come from monkeys. Now, if all these dang old viruses and stuff originate from monkeys, why y'all still working with them in the research lab? I mean, I don't get it. You know?
They blame it on the monkey because they can't talk.
Yeah. So look at the camera, Miss Mary. Tell the camera
Blame
that.
it on the monkey because they can't talk.
I totally agree with that.
They can't talk, but they can fight.
They can fight, bite, scratch. Yeah, pass out the monkeypox.
They look so close to humans.
Yeah.
They still can't get a conversation out of them.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never know.
Mm-hmm.
Just guess.
Them monkeys always go for your face.
They do because they evil individuals. What do you think? That's what I think. So, as I said earlier, my name is Camelia Jones. I'm trying to stay in the frame. My name is Camelia Jones. I am the executive director of Walking in Purpose. Our partnership and our funding from Outreach Global Group and Bodeo is allowing us to do outreach in the community, to plan and operate vaccine clinics, not only just for the COVID-19 vaccine, but we do the booster shots, we do flu, pneumonia, the RSV vaccine right now, the Mpox, monkeypox.
Mm-hmm.
We also do weekly, either in-person, small groups, record like this. It just happens all different types of ways, but we try to get a small group or as big as they would like it to be. And then we just talk about a topic. So, you know, today is monkeypox, you know, next week maybe gout. A lot of the people that I know are seeming to suffer from that. So it's just things you. Mr. James said he's one of them. So, but making sure that we are informed on about these diseases and we know what causes them. Now, with us Black folks, I'll tell you what, Mr. James, it's all related to the food you eat.
Yes.
You know, so then we have to change our diets.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all that pork chops and red meat, steak, and
Yeah.
buffalo. No, you know,
And what I quoted from was crack. The crackness.
Oh,
years ago.
yeah.
that was the bomb, the crack. where you used to put in cornbread and all
Yeah,
that.
he's talking about the pork crack and
Crack.
skin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love those too. I must admit, I love those
Now
too.
they're
Crack and cornbread is good, ain't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Bowl of anchovies.
Most of the newer cases worldwide occurred among gay and bisexual men.
Okay, so they said that the most.
Well, you know, they wanna blame it on the gay, everything on the gay.
Right, they do everything. But my thing is, we have to get to the meat of the matter, you know, and just not go from what we were told to what we heard. That's the purpose of you having any discussion with the goal of knowing the facts. Or for me, that's the purpose of just having a discussion with me, period. You know, like I said, I'm not gonna spread lies, I'm not gonna spread gossip, and I'll never spread he said, she said, they said,
Right.
I heard. That's not how I
I think a
operate.
statement like that will lead you in the wrong direction, thinking because you're not gay and you're not bisexual,
Yep.
you cannot get it.
That's it.
Not true. It's not true.
Because a lot of people that you know, they got the virus, the HIV virus. They were like, oh no, women, heterosexuals can't get it. That's a homosexual disease. So then when heterosexuals start getting AIDS,
Right.
then went out the window the whole only homosexuals can get it. So we have to move forward past the whole oh well it's only gays. I mean, because that's, to me, that's the most foolish thing, period. Any thoughts?
They want you to let your guards down and leave you with that misconception that only gays and bisexuals.
Mm-hmm. Because to me, in their mind, if I can change your train of thought,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as to where you're looking, so you're no longer thinking about the fact that this virus was discovered in a research lab, right? Now we're focused on, oh man, the gays have a virus or disease, they just out here passing it out. You know, a lot of times when we are made aware of something, you have to really be careful of doing that process, that nothing or no one, I know this is a double negative, distracts you, right? So let's say that, for example, if something happened and this 7-Eleven across from us just mysteriously blows up, right? Or UFO lands on the roof, right? So we saw with our own eyes, we talking about it, UFO lands on the roof. Well, if I don't want you to know or talk much about it, the next thing that I need to do is just create a bigger scene or a bigger, you know, catastrophe or, you know, event to sway your mind from where it currently is to something else. So my thing is, when it comes to your health, you just gotta stay focused. You gotta be able to, you know, find out the information and then not be distracted, you know, by anything else. So lastly, we're gonna talk about some testing sites. And again, we are here in Baltimore City, Maryland, and I'm sorry, I'm just back and forth, but I was talking about the purpose of these health classes. So I put out a video yesterday. Maybe it ended up being a 15-minute video, but I only wanted it to be actually 1 minute, but I can talk. I really can. Just to say that we are grateful for the opportunity to be able to serve the people in Baltimore City, to be able to educate the community on things that they may not know anything about, and to be able to empower and uplift them and make sure that they stay informed, right? So that is what Walking in Purpose is here to do. Now, these classes, these meetings, the podcast videos, the cleaning supplies we give out, the food, the toiletries, the rides that we give to doctor's appointments and grocery stores and vaccine clinics, and I could continue to go on and on. But all of those things for this particular project is made possible by Outreach Global Group, who is just a big advocate for people, having the knowledge about their health, having access to health. One of our podcasts is going to be completely on social determinants to health. Let's talk about what's going on in our communities. What are we lacking? What do we need to go from lack to abundance? So we are going to talk about a lot of things, but just to reiterate that today's discussion is with the senior population. Now, one day this week or maybe next week, we'll do some in-person or another recorded session with maybe youth or young adults. So for me, young adults, 18 to 25, I was here the young adult. For me, the youth, 12 to 17. But then you really can't forget the kids, pretty much 4 to 11. Because these kids are smart. As my mom says, they're all pandemic babies. These pandemic babies are different.
Okay.
That's what they say.
They know more than what you know.
They sure do. They come out the womb knowing. You're so funny, James. So testing. If you are here in Baltimore City, and again, we would not talk about these things if they were not an issue that was current going on. Say it again, James. That's right.
You gotta make sure you stay ready.
So, first things first, if you think you've been exposed to monkeypox, if you think you have it, if you looked it up on Google because you claim Google to be your doctor, and if Dr. Google shows you a picture of blisters and says that's monkeypox, and you look at your hand and it's the exact same thing, I'm going to need you to call your primary care provider. Also, Patient First, Bayview location, you can call them. Their number is 410-814-4500. If you don't have a primary care doctor or they're not testing for monkeypox, because just because you have a doctor doesn't mean they'll be testing for monkeypox. Baltimore City Health Department, their sexual health and wellness clinics will be doing the vaccines. Okay, it tells you to please call ahead for an appointment. You can also check out the Park West Health Center. Their number is 410-542-7800, so that's 7800. There's also Druid Sexual Health Clinic, 1515 West North Avenue, 21217. Their number is 410-396-0176. They're open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. They close for an hour at 1 o'clock. Thursdays, they are open from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And if you are not driving a car, you can take the Metro subway and get off at the Penn North Station. Eastern.
Down in the ghetto.
I'm not going to repeat what Ms. Essie said. Additional testing, the Eastern Sexual Health Clinic, 1200 East Fayette Street, 21202. Their hours are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. They're closed at 1 o'clock for lunch. Thursday, it's 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then you would take the Metro subway to the Shots Tower. Where is that at, y'all?
That's Street. After you pass Lexington Market, the next subway station.
Is it the next stop? After Lexington Market, you got the State Center first, don't you?
No, State Center back this way.
Okay.
Shop Tower, State Center this way. Shop Tower is before you get to Hobson.
Right.
So I'm asking these questions because I've been here 5 years.
Is the second stop.
And I don't know nothing about, I'm going to use all kind of negatives. I don't know nothing about no subway in Baltimore. And when I go to New York or other places, yes, I do, but I have never, I rode the bus like 3 times. I did the bus.
It's not that big.
Okay.
No. It's not that big.
And then you got to know if they understand everything you said. Because you moving fast.
For me.
Yeah. And see, they can't get that number down real fast.
Oh, it's recorded Mr. James said, I talk too fast, and y'all can't hear me writing those numbers down.
Right.
So when we post it, you have to just replay it and fast forward it to the part where I'm giving numbers if need be. You may also reach me, Camellia Jones. You can reach me by email. So the organization's email is walkinginpurposetn@gmail.com. So that's walking in purpose, one long word, ended by TN. T is in Tom, N is in Nancy for Tennessee, because that is where I am from. That is where Walking in Purpose originated. So that's why our email is walkinginpurposetn@gmail.com. You may reach me there. I also have a website for the organization. But if you go to my personal site, www.askcamellia, CAMILLIA.com, you'll see a whole page dedicated to Walking in Purpose and our contact information for you to be able to get to. And you'll see all the wonderful things that we are doing throughout the organization. So any parting words to the people in TV land, you all, about monkeypox? How do we feel? So can we give a recap of what it is? Somebody want to say what it is? What is monkeypox?
Monkeypox cannot be contracted just through bisexual people or gay people. You have to be aware of your surroundings, because this world is crazy. Watch who you come in contact with. Know your people. That's all I have to say.
Okay. So we know that monkeypox is a virus, that symptoms mimic the flu, chills, fever, headache, backache. And then after a couple of days, you may start to form these blisters on your body. Talk about the different places, so the face, the hands, the chest, the palms of the hands, I believe. I don't know about the skin side. The feet. Look at Miss Essie, I love her. The feet, the groin area, and the buttocks, the anus. So right, because
if you get it, make sure you see a professional doctor to know what the virus is, so you get rid of it.
That's it. And see them win, James, immediately.
Immediately. Don't wait till you see one of them.
That's bisexual or gay. Make sure the relative contact a doctor ASAP.
Yeah. So I just want to clarify that we're not saying that it is a sexually transmitted disease that only affects, homosexual men. What we're saying is that based on history, that was always the first excuse. And it is shown within that community, but we don't want anybody to think that you are immune, that you cannot be infected with something, that your life cannot be affected by something, because for every cause, there is an effect. So, no one is, immune. No one's immune to it. You just have to take your health seriously. You have to, you have to care for you. When things aren't going right, or if you're feeling, some type of way, you're like, you know what, this just isn't right. I don't think I should be feeling this way. That's what the hospitals are for. That's what your doctors are for. That's what the ER is for. Never second guess yourself, your thoughts, your pain, your concerns, because who knows? Who knows what it could be? So just stay on top about your health. Make sure that you, go to the doctors, get your regular checkups. Every year you should get a physical. Your body, physical. Women, I know that your OBGYN say every 2 years, you get an annual exam, a Pap exam, if it is normal. If it is abnormal, then they give you, a date, or they tell you to come back a little quicker than the 2 years. Hey, you gonna sit down too?
I ain't never
Hey, we talking about monkeypox. You wanna sit? You can have my chair.
No, I
You okay?
They stop you from doing the pap smear after a certain age. Everybody know that?
Yeah.
What? You don't have.
I'm gonna sit over here.
Pap smear after a certain age.
no more.
Ma'am,
What you say?
after a certain age you don't have to get a pap smear anymore.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
What, you know what age it is?
I remember that made it sense. I don't know what age it is, but I'm 85 now.
You not get one right.
They had me take when I was on about 61 or 62, but they stopped me, told me that was my last one, I didn't need it anymore.
Yeah, sometimes like late 50s, early 60s. It just depends, I'm thinking. And then as women, you gotta think about what age are you going through menopause and all that, you know. So I just think it may be a little different for every woman. So I just said that we need to make sure that we take care of our health, that you go and you get your physical, women get your PAP exams. I'm 40, so as soon as I turned 40, it seemed like I started getting emails and calls from doctors saying it's time for you to get your breast exam, your mammogram, and I'm scared. If I can be honest and say how I really feel, I'm scared as hell.
It hurts. That's all.
See what I'm saying?
It's a little
I don't want to hurt. I don't want to be in pain. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I told
You
my
examine yourself.
I don't feel anything, but when you turn 40, you got to start going to get that mammogram.
Yes.
So I'm actually going to go to a breast center because you could go to like lab for the X-ray places and things. But my thing is, if you go to a doctor that is not trained and is not a specialty for certain things, like you wouldn't go to a podiatrist for brain surgery. You get what I'm saying? So it's best for me. I think that it's best to go to the people who are a professional at whatever it is you need. So my doctor did. So she told me I had an option. I could go to one of those, like the LabCorp places, or she could give me a referral to go or advance, or to go to a breast center. So I wanted to go there because that's what they specialize in. So when you go to like advanced radiology or anywhere else, you know, they're there to do the x-rays and stuff, but as far as being tender and loving with my tatas, they're not gonna do that, girl. They're gonna be like, girl, if you don't slap that thing on this little, and I don't know what the process is, but I listen to what people say. And then I have formed my own opinion. And that is another reason why we have these videos, because we listen to what people say, and then we create our own opinion or our own truth about it based on that. So from what people have been saying, I'm scared out of my mind to put my breast on a cold plate and someone squeeze it down like a pancake. For real? Oh my goodness.
They found something once.
Okay.
They removed it. They can see a little something else in there now, so I got it for tomorrow.
See, my mother, so when my mother was 16, they found some cysts in one of her breasts. So, and I think she had surgery, had it removed. So she goes quite often because of that. So, you know, I've never had any issues. I had never felt a lump or anything. But my doctor's like, you're 40. I said, I know. She's like, yeah, you know, get a breast exam. I'm like, okay. I mean, a pap smear. I already did that already too. A mammogram. So, health, we just want you to be informed about your health. We want to just give you information so that you can make an informed decision. But today we talked about monkeypox, the virus that is the cousin of smallpox. The symptoms are like flu-like symptoms, headache, rash, fever, chills, backache, so forth and so on. After a few days, you start to form those blisters. So, and then it's like, what, a 21-day cycle of maybe you getting it, and, you know, 3 weeks later, you'll get better.
Miss Yvonne, if you heard that only bisexuals and gays can transmit that, it's not true.
I know it.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hop back on the camera just to say bye, I guess, but then we will give our guest a round of applause. I'll do it. We'll go around. Go around. So yeah, there you go. So we're gonna go by and say your name for the camera.
No, Yvonne Quickly.
That's Miss Yvonne Quickly.
Essie Louise.
Essie Louise Smith.
Mary McCray Armstead.
Mary McCray Armstead.
James Abraham DeBose.
James Abraham DeVos. And I am Camellia. Where am I at? I am Camellia Latrice Hathaway Jones. And we are saying hello and goodbye to you all the way from Baltimore, Maryland. Join us next week. Play the replay in case I talk fast, like Mr. James sitting behind me. He's like, you're talking too fast. They can't understand. They can't write down the numbers. So we said, play the video back, watch it, make sure that you tune in. We will always post our discussions on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page. Facebook page is Walking in Purpose. You just go on there, type it in. You'll see our recordings. Go to my personal site, www.askcamellia.com. You'll have a link. You'll have a page for nothing but Walking in Purpose information. So you'll see everything that, all the information that we put out. You'll see the next time that we're doing something. We'll post the recordings. So again, thank you. Shout out to OGG. Baltimore City, we're here. Thank you all for allowing us to come into your communities and to teach and to educate and to provide you all with information and household goodies, and to be able to help you to move past those barriers that you may have, such as transportation or job, school, and so forth, because those are all things that we address and assist our people with locating and obtaining. So until next time, I am Camellia from Walking in Purpose. I'm the founder and executive director, and we will say, we'll see you later. Everybody, say bye.
Walking in Purpose Ministries.
Wait a minute. Oh, no, I'm incorporated. Just Walking in Purpose Inc. Sorry, y'all.
Walking in Purpose.
I can't pause it. We want to continue talking. Clearly.
On Facebook,
Uh-huh.
Walking in Purpose Ministries came up.
No.